Okay, so for our grammar section, we're actually going to be looking in the text today, and we're looking for exclamation marks. But before we start doing that, can you tell your grown-up what an exclamation mark looks like and what it does? Oh, and where you would find it in a sentence. And when you're ready, grown-ups, we'll go through that information. So, an exclamation mark is used when you're trying to make a point. In speech, it's when you are shouting. An exclamation mark goes at the end of a sentence, and an exclamation mark looks like this. Okay, so we're now going to flip and we're going to read a bit more of our story, and we're looking for exclamation marks. But don't worry, grown-ups, you don't need to pause the video because we've got the example of the 4 pages I want you to look for them in appearing on this video after we've read the text. Okay, so first part we're looking at, we read yesterday. Now we will surely starve, she shouted. She grabbed the beans and threw them into the field beside their house. So, children, can you point to where the exclamation mark is there? And what I'm going to want you to do is choose several of these sentences to write out on your whiteboards, showing how the exclamation marks are used. And if you want to, if the speech marks, you could also include them as well. Because note the way that the exclamation mark appears before we close the speech marks. Okay, next part of the story. Jack was sent to bed without supper. There was still no food, but you can spot the exclamation marks there. The next morning, Jack woke early. His stomach rumbled. He was starving. He went downstairs. It was dark outside. He stared through the window and couldn't believe his eyes. Outside there was a giant beanstalk. So I wonder if you can spot those exclamation marks. And then the last sentence we're going to be looking at. Mum, Mum, come and look, Jack shouted, but his mother didn't come. Jack stared up at the beanstalk. It disappeared into the clouds. Should he climb it? Did he dare? So those are the pages we want to be looking at. And here they are on one slide, so they're easier to see. You see if you can identify as many as possible, as many as you feel like, of these exclamation marks. And grown-ups, it's up to you to decide how many sentences your children need to write. It might only be 2 or 3, or it might be a few more if they're doing brilliantly. Okay, and when you're ready, we'll highlight the sentences that they could have chosen. Okay, so the first sentence you could have highlighted, you could have chosen was this. Now they will shortly starve. The next one is there was still no food. And also, I missed it, Jack was sent to bed without supper. No, you didn't miss that. The next one we've got is a very long sentence. He stared through the window and couldn't believe his eyes. And then outside, there was a giant beanstalk. And then the next one we're looking at is Mum, 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 come and look. And that's it, because these here and here aren't exclamation marks, are they? They're question marks. And those questions have been addressed to the reader. They've been addressed to you.